wrapped up, so please keep sharing and tapping, guys. Get me to 10k likes before I start this evening. Thank you.
With you when the silence screams, when you're drowning slow in broken dreams. To the man who's tired but scared to say it. To the woman who loved but don't feel it reciprocated. To the kid who had to grow up too fast. To the one whose peace never seems to last. This world expects so much from you, but forgets to ask if you're good too. You don't always have to be the flame. You're allowed to fall, to feel, to name your pain. So if you're tired, let go tonight. You don't gotta hold the light.
Thank you,
I see you, I really do. And if no one's asked, how are you? Who checks on the strong ones? Who sees the weight you silently lift? You give the world your heart and hands, but you deserve love, not just demands. So here's your moment, breathe, release. Let the tears fall, let your soul find peace. You ain't a burden, you ain't too much. Even warriors need a healing touch. You're not alone, even if it feels that way. You matter more than what you give away.
As soon as it gets 10k likes, guys, I will start.
You don't have to carry everyone down. This one's for you. The strong ones forever.
Yeah, we'll be starting once we get to 10k likes, guys. This evening I have got loads. I have not stopped with this. I've got so much to show you tonight, but it's more upsetting than last night, so there's going to be lots of trigger warnings again tonight, guys. All I ask for is just tapping and sharing. Will someone let Penny up? Penny, just wait there for me, my lovely.
Didn't need saving.
I can't see it.
I just needed someone.
It's still not showing me.
1 minute, I'll have a look. Hang on, it might be my side.
I wasn't asking for the world, just a text back before midnight, just a hug when my thoughts get loud, and your voice when mine goes quiet. You act like I asked for heaven, but I only ever wanted your presence. You busy for everybody else, but I'm always at the bottom of your checklist. And I let it slide way too many times. Made excuses for the way you love. Told myself at least he tried, but even lies come dressed in effort sometimes. I asked for so little and still got less. Didn't want your money, just your respect. Didn't need diamonds, just some damn consistency. And it's crazy how cheap I priced my peace. I gave you my heart, all you had to do was hold it. But you kept dropping it like it was stolen. Wasn't asking for much, but I guess even that was too heavy for the hands you had. I stayed through the drought, through your silence, through the mood swings and broken promises. Built a home on baby and almost, but you ain't even show up for the foundation. I learned to shrink just to fit your comfort. Clapped for you while I was hurting. As the time you gave excuses, as for honesty you gave confusion. And I kept forgiving, kept on giving, even when you gave me empty in return. Tried to turn pain into patience, but your parents told me what I had to learn. I asked for so little and still got less. Didn't want your money, just your respect. Didn't need diamonds, just some damn consistency. And it's crazy how cheap I priced my peace. I gave you my heart, all you had to do was hold it. But you kept dropping it like it was stolen. Wasn't asking for much, But I guess even that was too heavy for the hands you had.
That's it, guys. Keep tapping. Please get me to 10k likes and I can start tonight. And thank you for being here tonight.
Feel like proving I'm worthy.
Queen,
Say that again, Paul.
just letting you know, I've got my second account up here because it's got the trigger warning background on there so that it's there all the time.
Thank you, my lovely.
No worries.
I asked for so little, and even that was too much.
Listen to the lyrics in this song, guys. Amazing.
Yeah. And the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. I've run from my pain for too many years. Thought hiding would help, but it only grew fear. Pain festers like a wound left unaddressed. Yeah. But God, he restores even after the mess. I tried to forget it, sitting in the storm, thinking silence was healing, but it kept me torn. Procrastination, fear, low self-worth dug me deeper than the dirt. Yeah. Choices I made, wounds self-inflicted, delayed obedience, truth evicted. I masked my trauma, but the truth is clear. You can't hear what you're too afraid to hear. I was broken, running blind, but God held me every time. He said, don't delay. Healing starts when you obey. Pain don't define me, it refined me. Trauma tried to blind me, but grace realigned me. I let go, I forgave. Now I walk in what he gave. Broken, bruised, but still I rise. With mercy shining in my eyes. His love rewrote my wilderness. From pain, trauma to forgiveness. I learned I had to pray without revisiting the source. Not name the person, but surrender the force. Generational curses break when you face the pain. Not by blaming, but by giving it God's name. I let men break me, let lies define me. But grace stepped in to realign me. What happened to me? God still used. My past became purpose. Now I refuse to lose. What's it gonna take to trust him more? He's knocking, standing at your door. Don't wait for tomorrow. Say yes today. There's healing waiting out here. Pain doesn't find me, it refined me. Trauma tried to blind me, but grace realigned me. I let go, I forgave. Now I walk in what he gave. Broken, bruised, but still I rise. With mercy shining in my eyes. His love rewrote my wilderness. From pain, trauma to forgiveness.
Thanks, guys. Just get to that 10k likes, please. I'm going to play one more song after this and then we're going to get started anyway. So please get to that 10k, guys.
I'm standing still. Will you trust him? Will you heal? Because of grace, I chose to heal and forgive. Second Freedom Production.
Yeah?
What I'm gonna do, I can't accept no one in the boxes, so can you actually see who's coming in?
Not unless you change the setting. Do you remember earlier when we was talking about it and you said you had something thingy earlier?
Yeah.
If you go and have a look at it, just make sure all the things are on, and then I'll be able to see who's coming in, and I'll be able to accept them in.
I'm just having a look now. I struggle with things like this.
I'm the same.
Give me a minute. And thank you everyone for being patient tonight. It's just if you get me to 10k likes, it protects the live, because this evening I have got some really, really sensitive content that I'm going to be showing this evening. And put it this way, I'm very, very shocked at what I've dug out the last 24 hours, especially since last night as well. It's very, very sensitive. Just give me a minute. Right, moderators. Manage.
Penny's on private, darling. She needs to put it to public, and then we can see her and let her up.
She's just
Right.
well, she's changed it.
Right, I've just reset your mod settings, Vimto.
Right. Pen, if you request now, I'll see if I can see it.
Let's see if we can do pause. Yep, manage. There we go. I've just done yours, Paul.
Oh,
See,
I still can't see
Penny's mod
anything
as
yet. I'll
well.
keep looking.
Penny's mod. Oh, they are. Penny can manage guests and more, so she should be able to come up.
Yeah. Pen, are you in here?
Hi, Sally. Hope you're good, lovely.
If her account is on any kind of private setting, only the host will be able to see and let her up. She has to be totally public for us to see her.
Right, I'm going to play one more song now, guys, before we get started. So we've only got a few thousand likes to go, so come on, get tapping. Thanks, everyone. Let's play this and get Cora Taylor back to Texas, where she belongs, at home with her family.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me up. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me up. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. The band of angels coming for me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. If you get before I do, coming for to carry me home. Tell my friends that I'm coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, Sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
I absolutely love that song, Joe. It really does give me goosebumps. Her version, anyway. But then I do love UB40 because my mum was a bit prone to UB40. She loved them. Thank you, Squidgy darling. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. Hello, Penny. We finally got you in.
I found her. She was hanging round the room, mate. I'll tell you.
I hope you're good, Pen.
Yeah, all good.
Good. Hope you're good, Vimto, Paul, Mickey, Lily, and I hope everyone else is good.
We are all
good,
yeah.
darling.
Good.
All good, mate.
Brilliant. Well, evening, my fellow swamp donkeys. Hello, Nolan. So this evening, guys, as you know, thank you for the 10k likes. If you can just keep tapping, that's all I ask for. And for shares to get out there, I do appreciate it. If I sound a bit funny, number one, I'm blocked up. I've got some horrible symptoms going on, but I do have a nasty infection in my actual foot and leg at the moment, and I don't know if it's travelling. So at the minute, I feel quite run down, guys. So I do apologise if I sound very blocked up and husky. I've not been on the sherbet or anything like that, so please don't be getting this live twisted tonight, because I know I've got some haters out there and they like to twist narratives, don't they? So anyway, this evening, I have done a lot of digging today on what we was discussing last night about the Kingdom Karbala, or Karbala Kingdom, however you want to say it. So how did you get infected? Do you know what, Sally? I don't have a clue. I haven't even got a cut. My foot's just swelled out. It's absolutely throbbing, and literally it started from the toe. I haven't banged it. I haven't even got a wound or anything, so I don't have a clue what on earth is going on with it. However, I have had a pain injection a few days ago. I'm on some antibiotics as well. So I've just got to see how I get on. But I feel absolutely rotten with it, and I'm petrified because, as you know, infections, they can just go wherever they want to, can't they? But yeah, I haven't got no cuts or anything. Really? Hey, I hope not been freaking bit of something off a bumblebee or whatever. Fucking hell, well stung. Jesus. I don't know, but there's like weird spiders in my son's room. We were laying in bed the other day and one crawled on his head. He shit himself. Honestly, my eldest is like, honestly, I just can't explain it. It's like a big baby. Say that again, babe.
Mark was saying there's supposed to be some of them false widow spiders around.
Oh no, please don't tell me that's bit my toe in the night or something. Jesus Christ. Honestly. Do you know what? Can I tell you something though? Do you know I woke up this morning and do you know what my cat was doing? She kept trying to claw my fucking bottom lip. What's that about? I don't know, she was waking me up, like tapping me or something to say, get up, bitch. But
Have you got a hairy lip?
no! You cheeky little son. Only you could come out with something like that. Seriously, she was laying there and she was like tapping my lip. And I'm looking at her going, Callie, will you chill out? And she just kept tapping and tapping. And then as soon as I got up, well, she won't leave me alone. So maybe it was just my attention. I don't know. But
yeah, she might have thought it was a scratching post. You don't know, do you?
I'm telling you, she must have thought it was something because it fucking hurt. She's trying to shut me up, the bitch. She's the only one that can give me a gagging order. Simple as that. Anyway, right, let's get back to seriousness now. Honestly, guys, my head's like a whirlwind. I'm not going to lie to you. So, Karbala Kingdom, everyone knows it's a tribe that has took over the woods in Scotland. And can we get that Gemma out of here? You can piss off, you sly dog. Gemma. Gemsy29. Piss off. Go and join your friend Rangi. Oh, what's up? He's locked up tonight. That's why he's not live.
That's not that Gem B, is it?
No, it's another one. She's actually one of Rangi's little winnets. She constantly watches me to go and report back to him. But, you know,
Right.
he could watch me himself if he wanted to. Come and join in. So, anyway, guys, going back to this. Karbala Kingdom, as you know, it's a tribe who's took over the woods in Scotland, and they have just been given an eviction. Locals of Scotland area have been attacking and targeting this tribe because they don't want them there, because they are actually scaring people. We've had many reports that they are from the Cleveland area, Yam Lane, that's where they previously lived, and whilst living in the Middlesbrough, Cleveland, Newcastle area, wherever you want to call it, they was literally terrorising and chasing children on the streets and literally going all out, scaring people. They were writing things with red paint on the window and the front of the houses. That was now becoming more of a, how can I put it, attention thing. So everyone knew who it was, who lived there. So people would often target the property. Now, I did show you last night a video of Mr. Latif, Aurangzeb Latif. Goes by the name as Rangi Matloob. Oh yeah, he's got many more to go with that. However, I am going to be showing that video later on, but tonight I want to show the videos that I've dug out today, which are very, very triggering, I won't lie. But I want to give you a bit of an insight and a pattern into these people's background, really, and how they've become where they are today. And I've actually got solid evidence and proof of that. However, last night I showed you the video of Rangi. And Rangi was outside these people's apartment flat trying to stop the police and social workers going in to take over the children of these individuals. When you look at it, yeah, it almost looks like there is something big going on and people need saving. However, these children did need saving, as this couple actually ended up going to court for child neglect. To top it off, there's lots more to go into in regards to mental health worries and other things while they were on child protection, and we are going to get through that tonight. I'm going to be focusing more on the two girls today that, you know, have been involved in this tribe. The one that's no longer here, the one that's now took the one that's no longer here's place. Then we're going to go on to the next part where I want to discuss where Rangi is coming into this, what connections he's actually got with this tribe. I've also got solid evidence of Rangi taking an award off the African community with his so-called charities, which I don't think he actually realised I would dig that deep, but I have done, and I did do. And I'm very proud of the work that I have actually done the last couple of days. And today I have got some extras for everyone. So this here is Aaliyah Johnson on your left. She's no longer with us, unfortunately, and she was part of the Kingdom Karbala, where she was the second wife to, I don't know if you want to pronounce the name, Kofi or Kofi, who's now the king. She went back to America after escaping this tribe, but she no longer wanted to be there, and as she escaped, she went back to America, and she believed that these people now had people watching her. It got so bad that while she was crossing the road, she ended up getting run over. God bless her soul. TikTok shop, we love you. She was run over, and people are saying and speculating that when she was running away, that there was a person there just like King, you know, Kofi, and basically this person was chasing her to the point she ran in front of the bus and his car, and it took her life, unfortunately. However, the mental health services in Ohio actually let this girl down. They didn't give her the support that she needed for her mental health, which meant that she was easily groomed. Whilst living in America, she was groomed for 3 years previously before joining this cult. And in them 3 years, she was promised, you know, a good life. She was going to come over here, have loads of babies with the king. But then she said she didn't want a sexual relationship with the king. But instead, the first wife, which is Jean, God, I struggle pronouncing these names, guys, so I do apologise. Jean Gasho, which is obviously Queen, wife number 1, she literally told this lady that she needed to come over here and have a sexual relationship with the king. So unfortunately, this poor girl was pushed into a lot of things she didn't want to do whilst being in this tribe, and she ended up falling pregnant. She tried to conceal the pregnancy, and that's when she also ran away from the tribe. But before that, she was already pregnant. She ended up having that baby removed when Jean Gasho ended up having her children removed as well. So Jean Gasho was saying on videos and live streaming she wanted an American baby. So not only do we have Aaliyah Johnson that's come from Ohio, which we all know as well, Rangi LCS News. We do know he's international. We do know he's got links with America, Canada, Australia. Just like he says, I've got 100% solid proof he has, but not in a good way, in a very disgusting, terrible way. And with them connections comes along, you can do whatever you want. And when you're in a bit of power and you've got a little bit of money in your back pocket, you can also do whatever you want. Ruthie, I'm glad you're in here. Please stick around, lovely. So, as you know, I showed you the video where Rangi was outside defending that couple. Yeah, Jean Gasho and her husband, Coffee. Now, the worst part is, this couple was done for child neglect, but also they're asking for second and third and fourth wives. And they're doing a virginity testing on these young ladies as they're coming over here. Now, that obviously rings alarm bells. Then to top it off, we've got this lady on the right. This now is Cora Taylor. Cora Taylor went missing in Texas. And what's happened is she's been groomed over the last, I think it was 2 years, it says in the article. 2 years. She had a child. So she ends up fleeing from Ohio. She comes here, but she weren't fleeing from nothing. She had a happy life at home, about to start university because she wants to be a lawyer. So then you ask yourself, well, how does this girl end up in the woods? From America to Scotland, how does it happen? And you know, a lot of people may find it on here as entertainment. Oh, isn't that bizarre? Oh, look at that. But some of you don't realise this is exploitation, and this girl has now been bought at a price. And we've all got evidence of that. I'm going to be showing a clipping tonight of what's come out of the king's mouth. He's bought this lady for a price. Which now you would think the authorities here in, you know, the UK, Scotland, why aren't they doing anything about it? Why are they just sitting there, leaving this girl there? Well, this is how it goes. It's because she's an adult. She's made her own choices, and that is how the authorities have looked at this girl. So what happens then is, you know, she'll come now, she'll just be ignored for a while until it's too late, or until she says, right, I want to get up and I'm getting out of here. Sorry guys, just bear with me. I've got messages coming through me with the phone. So they'll leave her where she is until she says she's ready now to leave. And that is very upsetting, because look what's happened to Aaliyah Johnson. Are we going to wait to have another Aaliyah Johnson on our hands? How many wives does this man actually want? Because as we speak, he is actually sitting there right now with Jean Gasho, requiring and asking for more girls from America and Africa, Zimbabwe especially, to come over here, and Ghana to come over here and be his wives. Now, why only Africa and America? Why only them two places? So you then look a little bit deeper and you think, right, well, why are they only focusing? Well, you read an article now that apparently they're only after women who can give them Black American babies, and apparently African babies and American babies are worth a lot more in their tribe. I was absolutely mortified when I heard this. So then I found some videos that have been leaked previously of Jean Gasho having a breakdown. And I am going to say tonight, guys, before I do play it in a minute, there's a massive trigger warning, because I just want to show you that the wife, Jean Gasho, she's coming across now like she's also a victim. Now, for a minute, I was fooled, because I'm thinking, do you know what? She is a victim, and I can confirm Jean Gasho has been a victim of child SA. She's been a survivor. Well, she is a survivor now, to be fair. And she's also gone through some other traumas, which you're going to hear in a minute. But what gets me is this woman's mentality. Now, did you all know the husband, the King Coffee, is only 35? Yet Jean Gasho is 43 years of age. Now, I
35
didn't...
going on 105.
Say that again, Mickey.
35 going on 105.
Oh, I'm telling you. So yeah, as time's like gone on, as I'm reading, I'm now looking at the age differences. Now, believe it or not, Coffee was actually concerned about her mental health not long ago, saying that the spirit of her dad took over her, blah, blah, blah. So then he's now putting up custody for the children. She's now bowing down, saying she'll do anything to get him, you know, his love back and things like that. What's happened is she's gone and got him another wife. They're playing king and queen, and really she doesn't want that lifestyle, but she is in control. She's angry with the local authorities. So what she's doing, she's now going out of her way to create all these cults, and she said in her own words, she's coming to destroy the social workers, the police, everybody that was involved in her children's case and that took her children she wishes, but nothing but DEA, yeah, and the rest, the other two words, TH, TikTok shop will love you. So yeah, them threats. So I'm observing very closely with the wording this lady's using. Then she's also using the wording manufactured. The government manufactured her documents. I'm thinking this is too similar to Rangi. Why is she coming out with the same phrases? And it's just very, very bizarre. Anyway, as time's gone on and I'm looking through the articles, she's only famous in Africa, guys. Did you all know that? And I don't mean for being a queen either. She's famous for being she's an author. She writes storybooks for children, fantasy books for adults. But then she's also done her own story on her, where it does tell you about what she's gone through in a past life. But she's also got something personal with the royal family, Prince Philip. And during the breakdown that she had in 2021, you're going to hear in a minute in this video how she's mentioning her father and Prince Philip. She's also mentioning how her ex-husband had unfortunately done some horrible things to her. But I just want now, tonight, to show you this so you can all understand that what this lady is doing, it is down to her mental health, because there is a lot of people that are believing right now that the world's about to come to an end. And I said this last night, right? We all have our spiritual beliefs, and I support anyone with this spiritual belief. I'm not here to judge that. But when we've got scaremongering going on to the point, you've got Rangi, you've got these individuals coming on, putting out threats. Do you know what, guys? It's not really the end of the world. I'll tell you what they're doing. And some of you just haven't got onto it. The coding. Do you know what coding means? Can anyone tell me what coding means? What about you, Pen? Oh, she's gone silent. Right.
Is it
coding.
where they're trying to program their mind?
Yes, but also they
That
are
sort of thing.
using
Like
codes.
take control of them.
Yeah, but they're using codes. They're using certain codes on here, which some people just haven't picked up on. They're not going on about members of the public. They are here to fully hate on the government and attack the government. And what I want to prove to you tonight, I'll tell you why Rangi has been supporting this family. Rangi supported this family in the hope that they was going to do him favours. Now, remember the newspaper article where it stated Mr. Lateef threatened social workers he was going to bring the whole demonstration to their doors. Well, what do you think he's going to love? He's going to love people going to social workers, attacking them, turning up at the front doors. That's exactly what these people did. They cursed the houses of these foster parents and social workers, threatened them. Now they've come on camera and actually threatened these social workers now with DEATH. And the worst part is we've already got evidence that Rangi's planning on water pistols and the rest of it to attack the police, the government. Are these being used to hold anything for Mr. Lateef? Are these people being used as weapons towards the government because he cannot directly do it himself? And the reason why I'm saying this now, I'm going to give you a clear example of what vulnerability looks like and just how bad mental health can. 1 minute you live in a normal, fantastic life, you can go to sleep, the next day, that's it, your life's upside down. So what I'm going to do, just give me a minute while I get this video ready for you. And then once we've watched this video, I'm going to be discussing these two girls on the screen. So just bear with me a minute, my lovelies. Sorry guys, just bear with me, it's just loading up. Right, I need a lot of trigger warnings, please, in the comments, guys, because I'm telling you now, this ain't nice. It is in public media as well. So the video I've got has come out of a newspaper article, but it's from the African newspaper articles, which I'm going to go through with you very soon. Right, let me just get this green screener. Right, here we go. So everyone, this is what Jean Gasho used to be like, the life she had before and how she got where she is today. And I need a lot of people now to literally take this in because, well, this is how simple it is that mental health can destroy somebody. So please watch it and be respectful in the comments. Trigger warning, guys. So that's what she used to look like. That's one of her books that she did. Just want you to read that. This was an article found in an African newspaper. That's what she used to look like. So she had a breakdown in 2021, according to the article there. When she went missing to Scotland. That was what their house actually looked like, and it scared many residents in the local area. This is the life they used to have. trigger warning, guys. So you can read the article there. You can see the picture on the article is the video that's about to be played. This is a trigger warning now, massive trigger warning. This is all in the public eye, so every video I played tonight is on platforms, even our own platform. But this, I just want you to watch this very closely and understand why thank you, Big Papa. I want you to understand why she had her children removed, how things went wrong for her, and I just want you to have a little bit of respect for the woman, because she has been a victim at the same time, and it's heartbreaking when you see. Honestly, I had tears strolling down my face earlier, so it is really, really sensitive, guys.
I think my dear fancy but nothing, I said nothing, take away cause nothing compares,
It's heartbreaking, this, guys. But I'm just trying to give you insights to who she is, really.
It's okay. No. I was only 10 years old. They all took turns. Walter was such an age me. My ex-husband, she died with Suka. He took me to the late every 2 weeks. Only one man protecting me. My husband, Coffee, and my daddy. Never gosh, oh, they lied. He was the best daddy ever. He moved me.
I'll tell you in a minute, Paul. It's the ending. I need you all to focus on in a minute.
Kate Middleton come live and tell everybody how Charlotte abuses my daughter Cheryl. Let Megan tell the truth. Megan has never lied. She was telling the truth. Oh, it's okay, Cheryl. It's fine, Mama. It's okay, Mama.
So it's so sad, guys. I'm not going to lie, when I watched that today, I had tears strolling down my fucking face, excuse my language tonight, because I think it's quite clear, not only is that poor woman struggling with some really dark demons inside, and I don't blame her, because look what we've just heard, that's just come out of her mouth. You know, you can clearly see she's having a breakdown in that video, but at the same time, she's got some serious issues with Kate Middleton, the Meghan Markle situation, and this all stems that she thinks that her child, her son, was took into care on purpose because Prince Charles wants to do a ritual with his blood, basically. And it is really, really sad. She's had some past with the royal family. I don't know what's gone on there. I'm trying to still figure that out. But you've just heard at the end of that about Kate Middleton's Charlotte and obviously her daughter. It's just all a little bit. Anyway, how this comes about is she had a breakdown, unfortunately, and that breakdown went viral. It went so viral that members of her own family, friends, they started to call social services because now they are very concerned for her. At the same time, Coffey now took advantage because he sat there claiming that, oh, my wife, she's possessed with the spirit of a dad. You know, she's not well, we're splitting up. And what that did, rather than him supporting her, he literally made her feel she wasn't doing a good job of being a wife. So then she bowed down, and now she's become part of this lifestyle just to suit him and please him, because she thinks if she doesn't let him have a second wife, he's going to up and leave her. Now, the reason why I look deep into this is because you've got to understand someone's mental well-being today if they are presenting online with scaremongering. You've got to understand why they're doing all of this. Well, I am going to admit this, Jean Gasho does love children. And I know it might seem to some people, well, she's got a funny way of showing it. She's genuinely unwell, really unwell. To the point, this is what gives me even more fears. This is where people like Rangi can now latch onto these vulnerable individuals and use them for whatever he wants to do as a weapon towards members of the government. And yet these poor individuals need to be put into secure lockups, get some help and support, so then they can be put back out here to be able to be a parent instead. You've got men like Rangi that come along and they will thrive off women and men that are this vulnerable. Because this couple, after this breakdown happened, not only have they lost the children, but they've now been arrested for child neglect. Now I'm going to go through a few more videos to give you a little bit more insight, and then we'll discuss it further. Bear with me. So I was quite shocked to learn that there is newspaper articles in Africa about this couple, and I couldn't understand why. Well, it turns out that the king, Coffey, he is actually an opera singer. Well, he was an opera singer. And he'd become quite famous in Africa, and that's why literally they've ended up in the articles, which I'm going to show you some now if you just give me a minute. I've got so much in my phone, it's unreal. There we go. So that was him back in the day. So he's gone from being famous in Africa for his singing. There's his name, you can see. I'm just going quiet so you can all read it. So yeah, guys, he was an opera singer. So then I'm thinking, well, how comes there's all these newspaper articles? Just how famous are they in Africa? Well, I tell you what, she's like Katie Price over here. She's constantly in every article in Africa. But I'm just going to show you. Look at that. When she was a business lady. She was an author, writing kids' books. Look at that. You would not think that was the same woman today, would you? And do you know what? That's even more sadder because it just shows how much, obviously, her life has gone downhill for her. And that is really, really sad. So let me just show you this. Anyone can go on Google, by the way, and you can pull these articles up yourself. So police called after Jean Gashaw breaks down again. And I'm thinking, well, there's hundreds of people that have breakdowns on a daily. Why is she different to everyone else and been put in the paper? Well, that's how I got on to know that her her husband now, sorry, that she's with, Coffee. That's how I found out he was actually famous in Africa, as I say, for his opera singing. There he is. Then you've got these articles here. Look at that. Gashaw faked her pregnancy. That was like, oh my God, this couple is well known in Africa. Like, why are they so famous for little things? Look at him there. You won't think that was him now, would you, sat in the woods in Scotland? No, they wouldn't. But yeah. And you can all go on Google, guys. As I say, this is all in the public media. You can go and pull it up for yourself and have a look. You've got other articles there. Jean Gashaw shows off her new 2-bedroomed apartment in Newcastle, of all places. Gashaw faked her pregnancy. They have been told they have changed a hell of a lot. It says that it's not clear why British authorities have not put her in a mental health facility as she regularly makes threats to take her own life by, oh my God, throwing herself into water. Bodies. Do you know what I mean? They're too busy writing articles than wanting to go out and help people. I just don't get that myself, to be fair. There we go, look. Jean Gashaw faked her pregnancy in order to get back at her estranged husband. Well, that estranged husband is the one who's sat in the woods now in Scotland with her. There we go. We've got statuses there. What I'll do, I'll post all this up anyway into a video so you can all see it. You were never pregnant. What a shallow-minded, stupid woman who thinks the only way to keep a man is to use pregnancy threat. You are a low-life. You need deliverance from... Yeah, I'm not going to say that on here. Public announcement. Pregnancy was a trap for Nino. That's her ex-husband, her husband, sorry, right now, who's sat in the woods in Scotland speaking about her. Look at that. Isn't it mental? And then, really, ex-husband, really, what has my pregnancy got to do with you? You spend your life, now this was interesting, this bit. Thanks, Kingsley. You spend your life calling the police over me. If it's not you calling the police, it's your sister crying to the police about me. So she's obviously used to people calling the police on her own husband, in fact, which is very bizarre. Very. What has she done for him to keep ringing the police on her over the years? Do you know what I mean? Thanks, Kingsley, darling. So there we go. Jean Gashaw announces her new pregnancy. That was in 22. See, she's not in the articles over here, just Africa. It's absolutely just madness. Police were called last night after Jean Gashaw, a Zimbabwean socialite, posted a bizarre video while her kids cried in the background. That's the video we've all just watched a minute ago. Right there, I'm not going to play it again because it's too much to watch. However, I'm going to show you something now of the one and only King. I did try to show you this last night, so I've managed... Thanks, Kingsley. I've managed now to get a really clear picture of it, so bear with me. There we go. This was a status of her own husband that she sat in the woods with in Scotland. It is with regret I announce my separation from Jean Gashaw. I cannot at this stage continue to be with her. She believes she is now possessed with the spirit of her deceased father. I've witnessed disturbing behaviour over the last weekend, particularly during her Sabbath day, where I saw her using African things to consult the dead, doing rituals in my house, speaking in a voice that was identical to that Never Gasho claiming a Zimbabwe is about to burn. She claims her father was murdered by her younger brother, late Oliver. I'm not even going to pronounce that, and I'm not going to try. Wife and wife first lady. Her father clearly died of COVID. I do not believe in consultation of the dead. I worship the God of Israel. I am a Jew of the house of David. Spirit mediums are banned in Israel. I believe Jean is suffering from the grief of her father, which I do agree with that too. Probably depressed, but it's now out of my hands. I did try to get her the help she desperately needs, which she denied. I have children with Jean, and right now they are my priority. I hope her family reach out to her. ABC, get her the help she needs. I did love her very much, but it was not meant to be. I asked people of Zimbabwe not to encourage her writings. She's not herself. Jean has no friends and alienates herself from everyone, claiming is out to get her. I asked Zimbabweans especially to let me focus on my children. That is the man today. Now, this is the bit I need to touch upon. That is the man today, sat in the woods, controlling, yeah? Let me just show you something now. Let me just show you something, because this is what I'm not getting. This is what I'm stuck right now in between. This man who's just wrote that about his lovely wife that he calls Queen of the North. He loves her very much, doesn't he? Well, just watch this, everyone. Watch this.
I have claimed you and brought you to pass.
Trigger warning, guys.
Oh, that's nothing. No one can be able to take you from my hands. For I have claimed you and brought you to pass. No one can be able to say, no, Arsenal should not serve the king of Karbala. Yes. All my tribes worship and bow before me. All nations are coming to bow before me. And you are privileged to come.
I'm just going to rewind it back again, guys, for you to listen, because it is quite low, this video.
Oh, that's nothing. No one can be able to take you from my hands. For I have claimed you and bought you at a price.
I have bought you at a price, he's just said.
Say, no, Arsenal should not serve the king of Karbala. Yes. All my tribes worship and bow before me. All nations are coming to bow before me. And you are privileged to come. Yes. Right time. That's not you belong to the king of Karbala forever. Yes, ma'am. Now tell the pledge. I, Asna of Atene, the handmaiden of Queen Nandi, pledge my allegiance to the king through the queen. I shall be obedient in all matters. I shall uphold the great values of the king among his wives, concubines, bondwomen, and children. So help me. All right. Now, that's not the pleasure. Together, we shall walk. It's a great journey. Hold my hand. Yes. Oh, that's nothing. No one.
That's the guy who's wrote that status about his wife. Now, to me, that status looked like it should have been wrote about him, because he's in full control right now, sat in that woods, telling these young girls that he wants them to be the wife, these women. So how is he even managing to put statuses like that? Well, easily. I think he's been manipulating situations when it comes to Jean. Because how did Jean go from being a really fantastic mum, she had everything, a lovely home, to now she's where she is today, like just like that? No. I can tell you now, during that breakdown, she did actually let one thing out, that her husband was taking her to get grapes every 2 weeks. And then she goes from saying the word Nino. So I'm thinking, hang on, who's this other husband of hers? And I'm looking. Well, she's only talking about the same husband she's with today, guys. He's got so many different names, it is unreal. So yeah, I mean, for me, and that video, the reason why we're going to touch up on that video in a minute is because it is going to link to what we're going to talk about with the young ladies that they're trying to get over here to the UK. Now, 1 second, my lovelies. My phone is driving me insane this evening. 1 minute. There we go. Sorry, guys. So, as I've looked a little bit closer into the stuff to do with Jean Gasho, not only was she an author, she's also had a lot of history within churches in a good way. Like, she's always been very, what's the word? Very true to a spiritual nature, but she's also supported women that have been victims of rape and DV. All of a sudden now she's changing her mind and she's becoming racist towards white people. She blames white people for taking her children away. She's now out to destroy the United Kingdom. That's what she's actually made it very clear. She's going to target anyone that took her children. And even that, it's so sad because when you think about it, this is a woman who's just in pain. And I know what it's like when you're not in control and you can't do much about it. Like, her mental health, it's ruminating so bad that seed is now growing and growing, and the behaviour patterns are getting more impulsive. They're getting more anger, like within these behaviour issues. Honestly, when I say behaviour, I'm talking about rocking up at social workers' front doors, threatening social workers, even though they've got children inside their houses. Why would you ask yourself, why would people do that? And at first, I won't lie, I was a little bit like, why would you do that? It's a bit horrible, isn't it? But then I also sit down and I feel the pain that some of these mothers do have when they do lose the kids to the care system. And that's why I also have to empathise, because I do know Jean Gasho loves her kids very, very much. But when mental health gets in the way, it gets in the way massively, to the point that it's not that the parents don't love the children anymore. It's just they're struggling to love themselves and know who themselves are. So it then can affect the parenting. That's where social workers do go wrong. They should be coming in and showing support, not throwing parents to the roadside and saying, look, we're going to take your child. And because what they don't realise is sometimes children are therapy to some parents. They're the making of some parents. My kids was the making of me the moment I gave birth to them, right? You grow that love that you've never experienced before, and that love, you just can't imagine being without that love in your life. Do you understand? And that's what I'm saying. My kids was the making of me. They made me into the woman that I am today. So I don't mean this in a bad way. I do understand why some parents do get angry when the kids have been took into the care system, but going out there condoning violence to the professionals, it's not acceptable behaviour. So we've got to now draw a line, haven't we, in a way, because, well, you keep attacking social workers and the government, they're going to keep coming for you, removing your children. And it's sad because it's a battle that never seems to end. It'll only end when your children have been removed completely and you've got no fight left because everything has been used against you. And this is what upsets me today. Parents can easily turn certain things around in their life, but they'll also let the hatred ruminate that they have for the government. They will let it ruminate so bad and grow in the brains that they can't separate the hatred for the kids' sake in the end. And it is sad. And that's me being truthful. Some people can be so more passionate about getting at the social workers rather than just saying to the social worker, well, I'll do a parenting course. I'll do anything you ask me to do. They don't do that. And one of the things that I learned during my little journey was, do you know what? I'm just going to ask them to put me on this and that, get it done with. And in a way, yeah, it helped me because, you know, I just lost my mum. I needed something to fill up my time with, especially when the kids were at school. So, yeah, I didn't mind it at the same time. If you've got a bit of free time on your hands, go for it. But if you love your kids, you go for it even more. And for me, it was either lose my kids after I just lost my parents, you know, and go downhill, or become a little family unit. And we're now a family unit. And that is thanks to my own, you know, shit that I put into this to be able to keep them out of the care system. But I can tell you now, and I do agree, that there is corruption in the services. I'm not going to sit here and deny there isn't. But today, in this day and age, there's lazy behaviour. There's no more old school social workers that used to be brilliant. Most of them today have come out of agencies. They're rocking out of university. They're just reading a book. Most of these social workers today are just about 18, 19, coming into homes of women and men who've brought up, you know, 20-odd-year-olds, and you're being told off a 20-odd-year-old yourself how to raise your child when you brought them into an adult. That I sort of get all that shit, I really do. And a couple of weeks ago, I begged my social workers to give me some more support within my family unit. And do you know what they tell me? You've got everything under control, Michelle. Well, Vimto and Penny and Paul, actually, can vouch for this. But I had to call my social services 2 weeks ago and cry and beg on the phone. And they still didn't come up with a solution.
No, they didn't. They didn't even try to help you because, like you said, they keep saying you've got everything under control, which just shows, like, what a good job you're doing with your boys. But when you feel like you need help, they should be offering it to you.
Exactly. And I'm simply saying now, I do need help at times. So it's sad that the mothers that do genuinely ask for help and want support, we're being told, no, I mean, what if one day I'm having a breakdown and no one wants to listen to me? I mean, I had to have this discussion last week with the social services itself, and I'm going to tell you who it is. It's Tameside Council. And if there's anyone who's watching me this evening from that council, well, now Angela Rayner has gone bye-bye. Who's now going to be taking responsibility for putting some funding into that office or offices? We want the youth offending team services up and running. We want some crime prevention work doing with the youth. We want some more services in the local community of Tameside, Ashton-under-Lyne, right? And we want more kids to have more services, because right now we've got more youth committing crime on the streets rather than, well, growing up how they should be doing. But yeah, now Angela Rayner's left, I am hoping things are going to change. But I'm telling you guys now, a girl has just been raped and murdered round here by a young boy. And yet, you know what? Tameside Council want to sit there and go, we're so sorry. But they didn't do nothing to prevent it. They didn't care that it was a 16-year-old boy who did that to a 14-year-old girl and other girls. Yet they could have prevented that, couldn't they? Because not only was the perpetrator a youth, but how many referrals would have gone in previously, which I can tell you now, referrals left, right and centre from school, youth offending services, they were all being put in. And yet that council, just like they did with my mother's death, sat there and ignored all them referrals because they're lazy. I'm going to say it again. They are lazy. And I hope to God they're listening tonight, seeing as they like to watch me but not help me, because that in itself is very, very weird, isn't it? But I think there's someone in Tameside Council working with Rangi, and Shazad, and Oldham Council. And we're going to come to that in the next few days, because these people really think I'm stupid, but I'm one step ahead of them. Not only is my house kitted up with so much CCTV, I can go back whenever I want and see who's been outside my property. But also, I know people too in different sectors of a few council buildings. And the name Shazad keeps bobbing up, especially within the Oldham sector. And I do believe that Mr. Lateef has actually been going into certain individuals within these council offices asking all about me. Did you know that, everyone? Yeah. He's been asking, do I work for Tameside Council over my dead body? If I got given you, do you know how many opportunities I have had to go and work within that council? Because once again, I'll repeat it, I've got a good enhanced DBS check, passed it with flying colours, everything else. I've got all my training, I've got all my qualifications, but do you really think I'd work in a council that couldn't even save my mum? Nope, nope, nope. However, I'd like to work in a council that's not in my area because, as well, conflicts of interest and data, and you don't want to be working with people that you just had shit with. It just don't work like that, does it? So then I'm thinking, hang on, why are these idiots going around asking about me at Oldham? Why Oldham and not actually just Tameside? Well, they're convinced that I work for Oldham Council and I'm rubbing shoulders with social services. So I'm just going to give you a heads up now. If you heard that Michelle works for, well, Queen Bee works for social services, please do not listen to it, because never would I want to work with them scumbags. I wouldn't even want to work in a council in any sector. Do you really want to know what I want to do, guys? And there's only certain few people in here that have known me long enough to know what I'm really passionate about. Criminal profiling. So it's basically where you know what a perpetrator looks like in all different shapes and sizes. I'm talking from rapists, even burglars, DV perpetrators. It's about how you watch how they operate, who's in the teams, how they operate and what they do within their operations. So a bit like Rangi with watching the migrant boat live tracker. Why is that group watching them? Well, we're going to get into it in a minute during this storyline, because this all does actually tie in with the situation that I'm discussing. And you're all probably wondering, well, how? Well, this is how we're going to do it. You see the two young girls that are in this Kingdom Karbala? Aaliyah Johnson is now gone, right? She come away from there and went back to America. She ends up losing her life. Within a couple of weeks of her losing her life, that Jean Gasho has now posted up on Facebook and every other platform about her being dead. Basically, it was payback for her doing wrong. When you enter the Kingdom Karbala, you do not come away from there without losing your life and being cursed. So, obviously, she's gone back to America and she did unfortunately lose her life. But now, this lady from Texas has just popped up. So, I've gone into a bit of digging, and I know Rangi's international. I know he's got a lot of friends in Texas, Canada, all different areas of America, and Penny can vouch for that one as well, and so can Vinto. In fact, Paul can as well, because he's watched Rangi enough times now to know. He is international. And what's happening, he's now getting in touch with these people overseas, promising them little favours. And he's also gone into the police station admitting to shipping children out. What the worst part is, I can't get my head around this. This man, Rangi, sat outside Jean Gasho's flat, stopping the police from trying to take her baby that was being neglected and abused. Not only a baby, she's actually got 8 children, by the way, guys, not 7, she's got 8. So why would Rangi be outside Jean Gasho's front door, putting all this big fight up, going, no, they come to cut a baby out, no, they're corrupt. Well, then you look at Rangi's mental health. We know Rangi's a narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, just weirdo. He's everything. He is your worst fucking nightmare. That is what Rangi Latif is. So then you start to think, right, well, Rangi's got court orders. He's not allowed near his wife, right? But did you know he actually went to Scotland a few years ago to fight custody for his child? And he told everybody that. What else was he up to in Scotland, I wonder? Do you understand what I'm saying? Today he's asking members of the public to donate him land in Scotland. In Scotland. Now, I've got footage, which I'll be showing in tomorrow night's live, because it takes ages for me to download all of these, because I've got 19 months worth. And I'm so glad I have. Because on one particular live that Rangi did, he actually said there was a man in Scotland. These were the words, because I couldn't get my head round it. There's a man in Scotland right now giving out free land. And you can go over there, and as long as you're using that land to grow fruit and veg, you can have that land until they do whatever with it. Then a week after that, he started asking for people to donate other parts of land in the other parts of the country. And I kept saying to him, Tom Penny, what does he need all this land for? Why can't people grow their own fruit and veg like I do in the back garden? Do you know what I mean? It costs a few p to go to the supermarket, get yourself some seeds. You can recycle your fruit and veg seeds. Come to my page, I'll show you how to do it free of charge. You don't need to be turning to these criminals online. And what they're doing, they're going, oh, the government ain't paying parents the child benefit. They're not giving them enough to feed the kids. So now he's pulling at the heartstrings. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's getting people to believe in the cause that he's trying to build. And when he's saying, I want to gain £1 million a year, which is pathetic. £1 million a year? Never in a million. Never. But he wants £1 million a year so he can grow fruit and veg on these lands and give them to food banks. No, I'll tell you what he wants to do. He wants people like Kingdom Karbala, vulnerable individuals, falling for this stupid crap. Because who do you think is going to be growing the fruit and vegging and cropping it? Who do you think is going to be doing all the hard work with all this growing, cropping, distributing? Because he's not going to do it, is he, while he's out there saving kids? Apparently so. No. So then what happens is all these other minions in the background have now got access to everybody now. Everyone. Now his partner, if you know, you know, he's now changed his name to something else, which I will get tomorrow. However, these two fellas are sat there stating they're giving out food for free, but they're giving it away free to people who can barely speak English. That scares me. The reason why it scares me is because why would they be watching that live tracker? Why would they be watching Migrants, the live tracker? Then we know he's got connections with America, yeah? Look, that's just an example. That's off his actual YouTube account. Why is he watching a live boat tracker of migrants, yeah? But then he's going into buildings saying, I ship women and kids out. Yeah, he does. We know that. You've got things like this happening. Cora Taylor, 21-year-old girl from Texas, you know, going missing from a nice life in America, wanting to be a lawyer, to now being put into this situation. So then you think, well, how did she manage to get here? How did, you know, Laurie Johnson manage to get, Aaliyah Johnson, sorry, how did they manage to get here? So then I've looked a bit deeper. Turns out Rangi, which I'm going to show you now, 1 minute, Rangi actually has a travel agent's firm. A fucking travel agent's firm. Oh, yeah, as well, actually, before we go into the travel agent's firm, let me just show you what else he has. Oh, we'll have all the exposures over here. This girl's American. So let me just play this for you to see. When it decides to play. One minute, guys, it might take.
Does know a lot of law, and so this is the root. So this is like the beginning of.
I want you now to focus on this.
Artificial
That's
intelligence
it
right now, and it's called GPTs. I can't remember what that stands for. but ChatGPT is the root, is the beginning. And so a lot of artificial intelligence that you will see out there is actually based on ChatGPT. So if you want to talk to it about your case, so also just remember that it's...
So the reason why I've showed you her, Christine Hillier, very interesting character, American. She's been a sidekick for Rangi for the last 19 months since I've been investigating him. She's also an engineer. She'll talk about AI, Microsoft. She used to have a really good career, apparently. However, do you know what happened to her? She ended up hiring a hitman for her husband back in America. She then flees over here to the UK, films herself coming to the airport, and then which I'm going to show you in a minute, and she claims she was trafficked to the UK. But then as later on you go through some of her videos, you will see she's telling porcupines, because then she's turning around and saying that she fled America, she come here, she was going to Sweden, that's where her location was meant to have been originally, and she was supposed to have gotten there. So then I'm just thinking, this is absolutely bizarre. Well, I only found a load of videos of a CCTV of her attacking the foster parent that took her child away. The foster parent's holding the child while she is going full on force in the contact centre, attacking the social worker and the foster parent whilst they're holding her child. So then she gets arrested for that. I put it up on TikTok last year, and out of the blue I got a message off her husband, which I'm also going to show you the message that I got. He made it clear she was trying to murder him. That's all she had in mind, was to get him, off this earth, because he was taking her through the court system. However, when she come here, she told everyone Rangi helped her. Do you see where we're going now? And I know I might waffle on before I get to the point, and it's only because I'm trying to show you how I've had to go into depth about this situation. She has stated Rangi helped to get her to the UK. Give me a minute while I swig my coffee, honestly. So, bear with me while I get this up for you. This is the video now where she's entered the airport into the UK. I want you to take note of how she treats Metropolitan Police officers. She thought she could try and manipulate them, especially, and she thought she was filming them in a good way, like she was going to prove a point, but she didn't. So, trigger warning now, guys. This is a lady who's pretending she was trafficked when really she wasn't. Sorry, guys, it's just taking a while. I think it's my internet tonight, that's playing up.
You reported it, or? Yes, I'm really weird. Obviously, they give us details of you.
Now, this is her video, guys.
September. I don't know about September. But yeah, I did put a child abduction. Child abduction. You reported it, or? Yes, I'm a victim of human trafficking. Right, okay. So what's happening in September? September, I don't know anything about September. It's something about children being taken to social services. I don't know anything about September. Okay. What do you know about that? I'm a bit alarmed. You came here to initiate a conversation with me, so I feel better. You tell me why you're here. I just told you already. Okay, tell me it again. Okay, so your details we run, okay? And on the details we've got, it says there's something to do with child abduction and social services in September. So obviously we need to speak about that to go out more details about it, okay? I'm a victim of human trafficking. Okay, well we can deal with that. We've got to try and figure out exactly what happened. We can get that from everyone that's involved. Do you have children? Yes, no? abducted by men in uniform. So I don't. If you could show me your ID, just so that.
As you say, it's showing police. Police officer, okay, phone number's there, so that's fine. Okay. And we're here because we have to deal with this.
So you asked me what my name is. May I have your name?
Yeah, PC Hamilton.
PC Hamilton. Hamilton?
Yeah, that's all.
How do you spell that?
I'm not going to spell it out for you. You got the short number anyway, okay?
And what police department are you from?
The Metropolitan Police.
And are you working on duty right now?
I was in uniform.
Sometimes some people do.
I'm not going to get swallowed, you're right.
I was a genuine person. I wasn't being
I'm
smart
not
with
going to go
you.
down that route. It seems like you're trying to be a little smart with it. Okay, we have.
You're taking it that way, but I was not
We
being
need to
smart.
investigate what's happened initially, okay? Because we've got to find out what's happened in the report, so we can deal with that.
Okay.
So the money we have to do that, so we can deal with that. Understand?
May I have a lawyer? And may I have Homeland Security come here right now? U.S. Homeland
If you have your
Security.
passport, you can give you the details and they can do whatever relevant checks they need to do. Okay?
U.S. Homeland Security.
Yeah, that's fine. This is the first time, alright? We have to deal with things one step at a time. Okay? So we've got an initial report that your friend wanted with regards to child abduction. Okay?
The child abduction. So
Child abduction in September, so we've got to get the
that
details.
happened
So if you are stopping like just trying to put everything in the way, alright, we can start getting things resolved.
So for a child to be abducted, wouldn't you say that there would have to be a warrant or an order signed and sealed by a judge that says that? So who has custody of this child?
That's what we've got to figure out. So whilst you're here, you have to ask your questions in order to figure out exactly what's happening, right? So
I'm a victim of human trafficking.
Okay, so we can deal with that. Okay, we have to take one thing at a time.
Right.
We're here for the initial part. Once we've dealt with that and figure out exactly what's happening, so you've got all the information to go on.
You guys started off with a
You're not going to run
claim.
this.
You started off with a claim.
Right, you're not going to run this.
So I'm just saying.
We're going to deal with this.
So you guys made a claim.
Yeah.
So
Don't try and smart. It's not going to work.
so
I'm telling you as it is. We'll deal with one thing at a time. Okay, we're going to
so
deal with
you guys are harassing me. I don't want this. You guys are harassing me. You're making a claim. You're making
Criminal Law Act and a suspected offender, right? If you don't like that,
suspected again. I'm repeatedly arrested. I'm a victim of human trafficking. I've been repeatedly arrested. They don't have any evidence to this is happening to a lot of people. They have no evidence to substantiate what they're saying.
We can't go on the radio and get all the details we need, right? So what I suggest is pipe down and let's do our job. We've got to get all the details.
I'm a victim of human trafficking. They're trafficking me. It's corruption, I promise you. Then ask them for any proof of what they're saying. I'm trying to get to the U.S. I'm a victim of human trafficking. I promise you, I'm a victim of human trafficking. They stole my child. I was trying to get to the U.S. They're covering up child sex trafficking. Child sex trafficking. My name is Christine Hillier. Find me on YouTube. Christine Hillier. YouTube. Hillier. I promise. Christine Hillier. Christine Hillier.
So you can hear in that she claims she's a victim of human trafficking, but then she goes, find me on YouTube. Well, I'm not being funny, but if I was a victim of that, I wouldn't be shouting, here's my TikTok, here's my Insta, and here's my YouTube. It's constantly corruption, 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 corruption. She doesn't want to take responsibility for her actions. And what she didn't like when I come along was, I questioned her. What links does Rangi actually have to America? Well, she's clearly one of them, but you can imagine a woman like her reaching out to Rangi for help. She's clearly using the same words in the scripture that all his minions actually use now when they're faced with, professionals. Now I'm going to play this and just listen to what she says about coming over here. She's a
I
liar.
have the pleasure to be speaking with Christine Hillier.
And here we go.
She left America she seeks refugee in UK, and they threatened her with persecution. She was only tortured.
Fairy dust.
She was denied basic human needs,
It's not f***ing real.
and today. She does not have her baby because she was put for adoption. She does not have no criminal record. And she does not have no mental problems.
You know, eating, how do you eat with a child? You can't travel with your Vitamix. You can't travel with a high chair.
Your son was not given appropriate food, was even given food that you said that he was
He was allergic to eggs, wheat.
Oh, Eden. Good boy, Eden. Good boy, Eden.
Cow's milk.
Get ice cream on your lips.
Dogs.
very gentle, acting. Gentle. Good boy.
So, before you ask
Also, he was
who that
at
guy
an age
is,
of
guys,
just over a year.
that is the father. He kindly shared these videos. He actually put some of these onto the public platform, and he really went to town and exposed her for what a really bad liar she was. Even I was blown away with the fact that she's lying blatantly here, and you can see that the child is not allergic to the food, the dogs, everything else, but she was in full control because that man was trying to fight for custody. Give me a minute. This is what else she did. And then in a minute, we're going to get back to the Kingdom Karbala story because this all links in a minute with everything that I'm telling you. Here it is.
Shut your mouth. I know what you are. Don't say nothing. Keep your hands on the wheel. Don't turn around. This is for real.
She was attacking the foster carer whilst the foster carer were holding the child.
There's no credibility in these false narratives against me.
So yeah, you've just seen that. She attacked a foster carer whilst the foster carer was actually at the contact centre
Before I was
holding the
unlawfully
child.
detained by London Met and West Midlands Police for 5 days,
Just going to play
during
this
which
for a minute.
time I was kicked and strangled. This led to my admission to I was unlawfully detained by London Met and West Midlands Police for 5 days, during which time I was kicked and strangled.
Why
This
West
led to my
Midlands?
admission to a mental health ward. I have continued to face challenges in seeking justice. The West Midlands Police have a history of erasing footage of crimes against me and my son. And as a patient in a mental ward, I have not been able to access that footage or even confirm if it still exists. These pictures. Special windows.
Hi friends, let's talk about mental health and patient consent. We all deserve to feel safe and respected while seeking treatment for our mental health. That's why it's crucial to protect the privacy of patients in mental health facilities and ensure that they have the right to consent or decline visits from anyone. Imagine a stranger being forced into your room, sent by a disturbed man who threatens to kill you and your son. It's not only intrusive, but it can also be dangerous. And that's exactly what happened to me as a patient at Clockview Hospital D ward. So let's stand up for our rights and say no to coercion and no to invasion of privacy.
Hey guys, I have 4 hours out unescorted. It took only 3 months, but it's a work in progress.
Oh dear, dear. Well, okay.
$8,000, guys. $8,000 she paid somebody to actually murder her children's father. And that is one of Rangi's minions. Now, why do you think I'm bothered by her so bad? What do we have in grooming gangs today, and what do we have in organised criminal gangs in general? There'll always be somebody that is there to gain the trust and, you know, just to gain the friendship, everything in these people that are vulnerable. And he's literally picking people internationally on purpose for a reason. So you've just seen that. And what she's used for, are you ready for this? She builds the trust up online. She's called Chrissy, LCS News, on TikTok. She'll often sit in Rangi's comments. Rangi helped me when I was trafficked. But we've just seen she wasn't trafficked. She's a liar. So then she's now becoming some sort of queen in the in the group, because she's now forming trust with these young women, young girls, and they're looking up to her because she's now claiming Rangi has helped her. That is very, very scary. And the reason why I'm going on to this is because I'm going to show you something with Rangi now. And I told you I don't lie. Oh, 1 minute. Let's rewind it. Who's that taking an award? 5th of January, I screen recorded that, as you can see. And I'm so glad I did. I really am. Because certain things, and I've started to just come to light, as you all know, in regards to him supporting Jean Gasho. Do you know what? I'm even sick of pronouncing that now. I'm just going to say Jean. But he's been supporting the African community for a while. And the reason why that's important is because at the beginning of my journey with Rangi, I received so much threats off him about black magic. And I was being told that he was involved in some heavy people abroad. I didn't think much of it. Apparently it was the African community. He was doing rituals and things. And at first I flipping laughed it off. I was like, no, go away, not Rangi. Do you know what I mean? Who the fuck does he think he is, fucking hocus pocus? Do you know what I mean? Not on my watch. But no, turns out he was actually doing that. The reason why that is Mr. Lateef has got childhood history with black magic, using it with his mother. So his mother used to use it. Rangi would grow up looking at that. Rangi's now grown up himself into an absolute creature, and that's what he uses today against women, more than anything, the Muslim ladies. And the reason why he does that is because in the Muslim community, as you all know, they do not practice black magic and they do not touch anything when it comes to black magic. So he knows he can, usually pick that's a vulnerability there in itself, actually, to be quite fair. So yeah, that's how he's operating. Now I'm going to show you something before we go back onto King and Queen Karbala, because I'm going to show you now the type of people that are getting these poor girls, just like Aaliyah Johnson and Cora Taylor over here. So, like the parents are requesting, well, how have they got over to the UK? Well, that's actually a good question. How have they got to the UK? We know Rangi's got his own travel agents. I'm going to show you now. Thank you, Bang Bang, who he actually works with. This here is Shazia Anjum. She claims to be a UK immigration solicitor. Not only has she been disbarred, but she's also got a court order against her. She's not allowed to put her services on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on anything. But she does. She ignores the law because they all think they're above the law, this group, with Rangi, every single one of them. But she's another one. Not only did she lose her career for lying, defrauding as well, customers, clients, but she's lost her children. Now, I want you to read that. Parents of British Child Visa UK. Your child is British, under 18 years, you take care of your child and want to come to the UK. See that bit? Well, guess how old Cora Taylor is from Texas? She's 21 years old with a child already that she brought from America here to the UK. And that child has now been removed from the Scottish local authorities. And I do believe the child has actually now been returned back to America with the grandparents. I'm going to show you this. So she's actually on YouTube, and this is what she puts up. Barrister there, Shazia Anjum. Now, look at this. And the other night I showed you a video where I actually did call this woman out about what she gets up to. Unregistered barrister Shazia Anjum was ordered to be disbarred by an independent disciplinary tribunal, which concluded on the 23rd of November 23, following findings of professional misconduct brought by bar standards. So clearly it was that bad. She just lost everything. The tribunal found that Miss Anjum behaved in a way which could reasonably be seen by the public to undermine her honesty and integrity, in that while practicing as a solicitor, she caused or allowed one or more improper transfers of money from the firm's client account, and knowing that her firm's account had been frozen, attempted to arrange for clients' funds to be paid into an account other than the firm's. So she's clearly taking payments and sending them to whoever on the outside of that, career of hers, shall we say. Why is that? I wonder what money she's taking in and who off. Well, let's look at these two girls. How did these two get over here? The parents are questioning that today. How did they get to the UK? Why was Rangi outside Jean Gashow's property, defending her? Well, I'm going to play this video for a minute here in front, because this is me calling out that solicitor. So I do appreciate you now listening, guys. But after we've played this, I'm going to go straight on to the other storyline. But this all does fit in with what I'm explaining to you. And these are the type of people that are responsible for dealing with documents, paperwork, visas. And as you've just read yourself, they're helping people get out of different countries to come to the UK. So,
immigration, how are you? I'm fine. Thank you so much for asking. There we go. So I was just wondering if you just mute yourself for a minute. I was just wondering, so, you know, like, obviously, you guys are angry at the authorities, and, you know, it seems to be like everyone else's fault, but no one else takes responsibility for their actions. However, isn't it fair to say, on the 23rd of November 2023, you was disbarred, wasn't you, from being a barrister? And your solicitor asking for people's documents. And there's a court order that actually states you are not allowed to do this online or put your online services out there. So, you know, when you come on here and you're like, well, the judges have got to be held accountable and this and that, do you not think you should be held accountable for, you know, having people's pants down by taking the money? Because you was done for misconduct, weren't you, as being a barrister? And then when people sit here and say you can't trust judging, you can't trust your solicitors, well, believe it or not, it's boomeranged, because you're one of those solicitors, aren't you, that no one can trust? Wondering, where's your license today to be able to sit online and put out your services? Because you've had many people off, haven't you, lately? UK immigration. Shazia and Jum, are you there? Would you like to answer? Okay, could I talk now? Go ahead. First of all, I don't know this lady's credentials and the name. She's hidden behind this monogram, whatever. I can feel clear hatred voice and the sort of allegations she said. She doesn't know how many credentials and licenses do I have. Is she getting this sort of information, and who is pumping her to spread hate crime here? So we are talking about the system here, and also I'm talking about the injustice I have been suffering, and this is clear my own facts and figures I'm talking about. And the facts the lady has just spoken has no value in it, no evidence in it. I have multi-jurisdictional licenses with me, and she's just here to hate me.
I'm just here to hate her, she says.
Completely. We are not. Don is my co-host. All right. I don't want that kind of language on my life. I've explained to Don Michael, you shouldn't be using people's color. All right. I don't want that. This is my life. This is how I don't think it, because it can be perceived as a racist. All right, and I don't want that. I don't care what you say in UK immigration. And with respect, UK immigration, it is late. It's 2 o'clock. I don't mean any disrespect to you, but the echoing is really annoying me on your life because there is an echo only from you. So, is it okay, UK immigration, if we can amicably?
So yeah, you just did that. That's me calling out the solicitor who's claiming. Sorry, guys, I'm just sticking this on charge. Who's claiming she can get people out of different countries here to the UK with their children. Well, why do I care about that so much? Well, once again, she's connected to Rangi. She also puts videos up in her own words. She will not work with you. Thank you, Joe, darling. Joe, do you mind coming up if you're not busy? She also, she puts videos up as well stating she will not take your phone call unless you've sent your documents to her first. They're looking for court documents. Why do they all want court documents? Well, they want the information. They want your kids' data. Do you know what they can do with that? They can sell it. They can use it for fake visas. Okay, and this is another thing. This is why I also exposed UK immigration, because that is what these people do, these false lawyers. Can someone just drop out the box for a minute just to let Joe up?
Yeah, I'll drop for you. Hang on.
It's only for a minute, Vimto.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
1 minute, Joe. Right, I want you to listen to Joe for a minute, please, because Joe's been affected by Rangi. And she's amazing as well. Hello,
Hey,
beautiful.
are you okay?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
while I just bob to the loo, because I've not stopped since I've been on here, will you please just quickly explain to everyone, because there is some new people on here,
Yeah.
just your thoughts on how dangerous Ranky is, but what happened to you, Joe, last year when I come along, and
Yeah.
now look where you are. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm proud of you for doing all this hard work.
Well, I told you I weren't going to give up.
I know.
Stay
and you haven't.
consistent.
Yeah, you have, and I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you, babe. So while I bob to the loo, I'm going to leave you now to just explain to everyone how you come about Rangi and what he asked
Yeah.
you from day one when you needed help.
Okay.
Thanks, babe.
You're welcome. Right, everyone. I came across him through. He had a page, and it was all going on about social services and how he can help with this and that. He basically, I'm in Wales. My family's from England, and he wanted me to get a house that he was going to pay for a whole year, but in return of that, he wanted to come and stay at my house with my 4 kids. He didn't realise at this point that I had like 3 older children. I think he just thought, because a mother just says their kids, no matter what age they are. So I think he thought win-win. When he realised the age, he told me also I needed to make him something to eat, have a coffee, and a bed to sleep. But then the following day, he wanted to pack my house up. First of all, park outside social services building with me and my kids in the van, which is quite weird. Take me to my new house and pay for the rent and bond for a whole year, which was really, it made me feel uneasy anyway, considering like what I've been through, had quite a bad past. And he made me feel really uneasy. And then thankfully, I came across Shao, and my gut was actually right. And he's a dangerous person. And he preys on the vulnerable. He preys on women with children, knowing that they've been through what they've been through. And that's what he does. And then if he doesn't like what you say, he'll block you and try and expose you. But really, he's the one that's being exposed every day.
True story. And guys, what Joe's just said there, when I come across Joe, I was frightened because the first thing Rangi used to do when he first come on here, he would ask people to come and join his cause. For him to help these women, he would need a place to stay. He would then ask, can he stay at the houses? And believe it or not, Joe was one of the first ladies on that man's list. And during the time I met Joe on here, another couple of women come forward, and one was absolutely heartbroken to the point I just literally crumbled when I come back on a live stream one afternoon, and I just let it out that a lady has come forward and told me what Rangi had done to her. However, I also heard that Rangi was caught driving around with a 14-year-old girl, and a mother was out looking for that girl. Do you remember that, Joe?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Do you know any insight into that?
I just know he was driving around with a young girl.
Yeah, and the mother, she was looking for the
She was
child.
looking for the child, and the child was with him.
Yeah. So what's a 14-year-old girl doing with Rangi? Well, I question that, and Joe will tell all of you from the get-go. Why is he driving around with this 14-year-old girl? So then a family member of Rangi's come forward, and I was gobsmacked. She rang me on unknown, and I was thinking, oh my God, do I answer it or what? And I did. I'm so glad I did. She told me everything about this man. He'd been in the register for 3 years previously because he essayed his own disabled niece. He was protected by the High Courts of London. So then I was getting confused. So, well, why the hell is he protected so much by, obviously, the government and the police? Turns out that Rangi is Mr. XY. During Operation Sanctuary, he was paid £10,000 by Cleveland police to go out and spy on grooming gang members. Because of his links and because of what he was up to previously in his life, he had a lot of connections with all these individuals, which the police paid him all this money. He then didn't, we weren't happy enough with the 10 grand, so he then tried to speak up in 2016. He went to the local newspapers. He tried to sell the story about Operation Sanctuary and what the police did. They took him straight to court and got a gagging order. He's never allowed to speak about Operation Sanctuary. He's not allowed to speak about his time being a police informant. And if he does, he will be going straight to jail. Hence, you know what one of his little sayings are when you hear him on his live? If I speak up, I'll be given a criminal record. It was an entrapment. He's confirming, yes, it was an entrapment and it still is today. So because he can't attack the police directly, he knows a lot about police corruption more than social workers. So then you think, well, that rings alarm bells, doesn't it, really? He's talking more about the police and the local authority, which he's supposed to be up against. You'd think he'd know how the local authority works. Well, turns out that he uses the local authority today as a way of trying to take it out on them because he can't get at the police. And as I say, if he comes on here and says, yes, I am Mr. XY, number one, we could have seen him as a superhero, couldn't we, really? Because anyone who's going out informing on predators, of course we're going to give him a high five. But this ain't your normal everyday informer. This one in the headlines, Mr. XY, a convicted predator, was paid 10 grand by Cleveland police, and NSPCC basically turned against him, wasn't happy. They kicked off about it, and today Rangi is still bitter because social workers would not leave his life alone. Then his wife got up and left. He abused his wife. In fact, there's documents up today on my wall, which I have been given permission to share. His wife had restraining orders for years on end, which he kept breaching. He's got 19 PNC warning markers, grape under 16, grape over 16, breaches of our restraining orders, that's against his wife, ABH, GBH, rug trafficking, didn't know how to pronounce that then, human trafficking, right? Even firearms, kidnap. He's got the whole shebang on his criminal record. And do you know what got me? When he asked for that enhanced DBS, he didn't want to hand it over. Do you know why? Because the enhanced DBS will show you all the convictions from before he was a police informant, because that won't hide. He didn't get given a new identity. So he says in his own words, he can't get a job because his name will flag up. Well, in his own words, once again, in his own podcast, he even says he had businesses. He was, top-notch businessman. His family was, well up there with all these family businesses. And now he hasn't got a pot. And his family was, well up there with all these family businesses. And now he hasn't got a pot to pay off vulnerable women, just like he did here with Joe. And this was where now I'm thinking, why are the police leaving this creature on this app? And Joe will tell you, I come on here many days at the beginning crying, frustrated for these women that the police weren't doing much about it. And one day I stomped my feet with Nexus House, which is Serious Crimes Unit, and the National Crime Agency. And I sat down and I told them they needed to stop this man now, and I know who he is. So I rang the newspapers, the Mirror, the Daily Star, and anyone can go and do this themselves. That's all you need to do is pick up the phone and ask to speak to the journalist who took care of that particular case. Well, I tell you what, I was like a kid at Christmas. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to ring the newspaper and tell him I know who that little cretin is. I know who Mr. XY is. I've got his identity. His family's told me. His friends. I've even looked at the... Do you know what? Everything. I was just getting these goosebumps at the thought that if I could get him out into the media, you women and other women would stop listening to this bullshit, and men, because he's also targeting men now as well. So I'm thinking this is going to be done. Do you know what? Them journalists, they may as well just laughed at me. Laughed. And I was fuming. Even though the other half kept saying, but babe, you got a positive result there. Still, it weren't good enough, because you know what I'm pissed off about today? And this is why I am doing these lives consistently, and I'll keep doing them until bye-bye Rangi, bye-bye Neo, and the rest of your little minions. Because this man, for so long, has come on here and hurt so many women. He's been arrested, been put on bail for so many times, over and over again. So I'm thinking, hang on, this can't continue. Then he got arrested for me, for what he did to me, right, in January. Do you know what really pissed me off about that again? He was put on bail. Then a couple of months later, he goes to London. He's now attacking and targeting a vulnerable, young, autistic mother who's now lost her children into the care system because of that creature. And she's also under protection with adult services to take care of her because she didn't recognise the danger she was in with Rangi. Because this is the effect that man has on these women's lives. Yet he's been on bail. So he's now being put on bail in London. He's being put in bail on, Bradford, Greater Manchester. Where else is this man being allowed to be put on bail, and why so many times? Because do you know what else this man did? And I'm going to show you now. I'll show you what Rangi did. Then you'll understand why I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing today. I'm not asked. No one's going to stop me. Listen to this, everyone.
Well, I can't tell you that right now because I've had to ship a whole load of them out in different cities to safeguard them because nobody's helping us.
Right, so where have you shipped these children out?
Well, I'd rather not give it to you right now because you don't know I'm recording.
Okay.
You know what I'm doing?
Are you in the shower? Yeah, but you in the
No, because when they take that, when they're private meeting, let's do it properly one by one. Otherwise, they get you
Rangi, my concern is now, and we have children, you said. So once they're made aware of something, we have to do something about it. If you give the names of the children, potentially their ages or wherever they're from, we can do that research. We can speak to other
You can do that research. Now, this is complex. Right?
No, I
to
understand.
explain this very, very simply, you've got to start from the beginning.
The children you're referring to, do you believe they're unsafe at the minute, or do you say them yourself?
No, there's a child that's still unsafe.
Right, so why don't we start with that child?
No, you still start at the beginning.
I'd rather start with the unsafe child. Yeah.
If you don't understand the beginning, how are you going to know the perpetrator that makes you
what they mean is the direct. So if you
have we got to
if there's a so I'm not aware of this.
Actually, hang on. No, 1 second.
So you've heard Rangi there admit he's just shipped kids out. Children. The police are asking him, where are these children he's shipped out? Yet he was still allowed to walk out of the police station, right? And that was it. The members of the public are meant to sit here and go, what happened, Queenie? And the amount of people that asked me what happened after this, one thing he didn't share with the public was he actually had his device took off him this day. This particular day, he had his device removed. However, he was then arrested for making this AI video, and it was disgusting to the point he actually brought my kids and my parents into that video. Ashton Police Station looked at that and was mortified. And remember, for someone to get arrested for AI videos and images, to meet a threshold with CPS for a charge, there's got to be it's got to be good evidence that shows that this person is responsible. Well, that was the case. Do you know why? Because you know where this idiot criminal went wrong? Once again, like he keeps doing, he was live streaming himself at the police station, at the headquarters, right? At the flipping headquarters, while somebody was operating that profile is set up with that particular video on from Facebook. So whilst the officer sat in my house, the officer is now making sure that I haven't got devices on me, which is, you know, that's only right. He's making sure that it's nobody else in control. He's messaging through to the headquarters in Manchester. They put the station on lockdown and arrested Mr. Latif. Arrested him. Because it was him who was stood there in the camera with his other mobile phone operating it in the chat. Do you know how distressed I was? Do you know how horrible that was for me? Especially because of the fact, you know, pick on me, but not my mum or my dad or my kids. Why do that? This is LCS News, who's supposed to protect women and kids. And yet instead, tell you what I've had since I've been speaking up about these. I've had someone parked outside my home. Well, he's now been arrested in Bradford. Parked outside my house trying to intimidate me, asking me to shut up about Rangi. Well, it didn't work. Next time I dare him to come and knock on the door. Yeah, because they're just spineless cowards. Yeah, Snoop and Jojo will be waiting at the front door. But what these men do, they do scare tactics, intimidation. And do you know how many people I have had trying to intimidate me, just all for this one man who's meant to be a protester, a speaker. He's meant to be in charge of what? Lawyers, all these different services, and yet that man can't even face me. Instead, he has to send other people to do his dirty work. And do you know who them people are? Usually Tommy Robinson's individuals. And let's face it, some of them groups who was involved in them riots, they're not so clean, are they? Because you know them men that was out there last year going, let's protect the women and the kids. Well, they're just as bad as well, because if you looked, especially on TikTok, most of them was being exposed for being waste man dads, DV perpetrators and grape perpetrators. So whilst they're out there, you know, trying to get on the media, trying to put on some front, that's all it comes down to. But I'm telling you now, the men that Rangi knocks around with are all wrong uns. The parents that he's helping, they're all wrong uns. Right? And Joe will tell you that. Joe will tell you, because from day one, all the people that me and Joe would see coming and going from Rangi's live all had criminal convictions. I would be exposing every single one of them after they started coming away, starting with Christine Hillier. She was the American, and I'm thinking, well, why has he got her in America? It turns out they do AI documents. They're talking about hacking government systems. And then do you know what else is scary? They're also plotting and planning, right, to attack the government and government bodies. Why am I bothered by that? Well, I've said it so many times. We're going to need these emergency services, and we can't get them because we've got people like this that just want to waste time of, you know, services to the point that who is actually going to protect this country, our society, if we've got lunatics that are going around the streets thinking they can just get firearms and go and attack people. Where's the sense in that? You know, it's not right. Now, give me a minute. I'm going to play one more thing. Sorry, guys, before we move on, because I'm enjoying. I've got your attention tonight. I want you to see. He's not on live, I don't think, either, because I checked before and he's not. But I'm going to show you something. Listen to this. Listen to this.
I'm nearly 10.
Michelle, do me a favor. Try to keep. I'd love to hear you, my little princess. And unfortunately, because there's certain issues, some people will be causing an issue because it's a 10-year-old. I'd love to hear you, darling. Oh, but look, you're looking up your mouth.
Because of the work that Ranji does, and
when you get in touch on that website,
And, you know, some of his lives, you know, there's lives on Thursday and Saturday, I think, or Wednesday, if I'm wrong. But
that's actually horrible.
if you come onto the lives, you know, you get to learn more about it. And this isn't lost their job, they've been sacked, they've been tarnished, their whole family's been targeted, houses have been smashed, and all this stuff, you know. Because you gotta think about it, these people, they are not only just part of social services, they work, the people that inside the police that work with these people, lead of people that are doing it. And the innocent kids, they're getting, you know, pimped out basically is what's happening. And obviously, why you haven't heard about it is because the second that someone starts to talk about it, they're shutting the page down, whatever platform you're using, they're shutting it down. Because they want to keep it hidden. So much so to the point where they know that we know and that we can't do nothing about it. That's why they're you know, think they're so strong.
Yeah, I think we're all hiding.
Quite strong, isn't it? Sorry?
They all think they're so high and mighty. One day they're gonna see. They're gonna see.
Right. Yeah, God will judge them all. They'll have to face that. You're right. But right now, the same way God will ask us as well and say, when you heard about this now, like, so say if you didn't know, but you've heard about it now, when you heard about this injustice going on in you know, to these kids and stuff, to my creation.
As soon as I come into this live, watch this.
What did you stay quiet? That's why, you know, like, obviously I've just found out in the last couple of weeks.
Stand up for this. We need to stand up for the kids.
Yes, we need to, because at the moment they have no voice. Their voice is being, you know, silenced.
How old is Rich on there?
We need to speak up against this.
Yeah, how old is Richmond? How old are you?
What, me?
Yeah.
I'm 12.
Right. You need a drop.
Yeah, sorry, you have to be over 18.
Yes.
So did I already spoke to that boy, a Romanian blind boy, 12 years of age, 12. And yet, after trying to radicalise his brain about the government and the local authority over here in the UK, they then want to ask him, how old is he? Every time I go into a live, he panics. Just like he did with that girl, right? Why is he calling someone else's little girl princess? He would love to hear her, but there might be some people that have got an issue with it. Yeah, me, you creep. Me. Because it was me who went in there and I said, get that child out your box. Would you like to know what I did 24 hours after that video? I went into my police station and I handed that footage right over to them. Why do you think that is? Because I bashed their ears about this is what he's doing online. If he can gain that trust there with a little 10-year-old girl referring to her as princess, he'd love to hear her. How many 10-year-olds are not being heard and would love for someone like Rangi to say those words? I would love to hear you, my little princess. That is grooming tactics, even the wording. That is disgraceful, and he shouldn't be wanting to explain. In fact, she weren't even 10 yet. She was 9 because she says she's nearly 10. But do you know what was more bizarre? Why is that woman who he referred to as Michelle, I'm so ashamed that she's got the same name as me, but why is she letting her child in the box? Because now you just think to yourself, well, there is some serious issues going on here because these are grown-ass adults trying to radicalise children's brains. Just like them young girls from America. How did they get radicalised? So we've got, you know, Laurie Johnson, who was Alicia John. What? Oh, sorry guys, sorry, I'm getting a bit confused. Let me just get the names up because they are a bit of a tongue twister. Aaliyah Johnson, sorry. So we've got Aaliyah Johnson, who unfortunately lost her life going back to America. But before she come here to the UK to join Jean Gashaw and her husband, being his second wife, she actually had a normal life in America. And it's sad to think that she had everything back at home. How did she go from living the normal everyday American life to now all of a sudden wanting to come to the UK and being part of this, this corruption in the government? And what tipped her over the edge? Because as far as I've looked, even her own family members are saying the only issue she ever had with the system was her mental health. And now a family, since her passing, a family have now started to try and get extra funding and support, and they've set up some sort of fundraising campaign in memory of Aaliyah, so they can get better mental health services in Ohio, which I think is great. We need that in every area. But at the same time, I'm still confused, because what made her get into now she wanted to come over here and go against the UK government? Where does she fit into that? That's the bit that I couldn't get my head round. Well, it's simple. You have got people that have got the beliefs that now turn into passion when they share the same beliefs with someone else, and that belief is very rare. So because she's now found someone who believes in her beliefs, and it's not every day that happens, she's now latched on to that little belief she's got as a friend, and she's trusted him, believed him. So I'm going to show you this, and I want to show you what Aaliyah Johnson had to go through whilst being with this couple, Jean Gashaw and Coffee. So these here, one second, here it is. Trigger warning now, guys. This is really sad, but this is a prime example of if these girls don't do what they're told within this cult, this is what happens. They're not gonna, they're being deprived of food, everything. So I'm just gonna play this, and I'm sure you'll get a better understanding.
I just feel like it's so rude.
The reason I'm taking the chocolate is because I feel like you still do not know what you have done.
I do. I apologize.
You came from outside. You chose not to speak to me.
Because I can be angry and not want to speak to you. Just like when you say you don't have the words to speak to me, I might not have the words to speak to you.
You're angry. Someone gets angry when they know they are right. When you are wrong, you do not get angry. This is wisdom. You do not go and steal someone's money. The person says, give me the money. Then once you give the money to the person, you say you are angry for giving the money back. Then you use that the same with the God of Israel. You wrong God of Israel. And the God of Israel punishes you, saying that for what you have done, I have done this to you. Then you become angry with God. You only become angry with God when you do not accept and admit what you have done was wrong. This is common sense.
You can still be angry because you not only gave everyone the talkies, but I wanted some too.
And you think you're entitled to have it.
I bought them.
And you bought it not because I've asked you to buy it. That's why you do not get it. You buying it does not mean that you have to have it. You bought it wrongfully. You didn't even ask him. So if in that sense you actually stole from me. So if you have stolen something from me, and I'm saying, give me that thing back, and you still think you're entitled to a little bit of it, that you should not even see the wrong you have done.
Okay, Madeline. You're right.
I'm not right, and I'm not wrong.
Now that poor girl, Aaliyah Johnson, once again, all she did was go to the shop, buy herself a chocolate bar and a bag of Takis. She comes into the property, and because she didn't say, hello, King of the North, or my lord, he basically took them bits and bobs off her and deprived her and said she ain't having them back. So if she steps out of line, she's not allowed to eat. If she doesn't speak and she just wants a quiet day, you know, she's not allowed to eat. She could only eat when he feeds her, just like he does now with the new girl that he's got. Now I'm going to show you something else in a minute. I'm going to show you this next video now, and this is, once again, same girl who's no longer with us, Leah Johnson. She's now upset because Jean Gasho wants to take her baby off her.
Begging. I didn't get down on my knees to say my Lord. Please give me
She had that all convinced that she was pregnant. When even the king told me that she is going to do this. She's going to play the pregnancy card. Saying, I've got nausea, I've got this. Just imagine.
Because I was telling the king the whole time when I was born.
Yeah, he was telling me.
And you even said it was psychological.
Yes.
Exactly. So at what point is that a
In
lie?
your head.
What point is that a lie?
Because you wanted it to be true.
No, exactly. Because what woman don't want to have a baby?
With an evil man.
You conceived against the evil man and had the kind. So what are you talking about?
So
what are you talking about? You literally had a baby. You literally conceived against the evil man without his mom.
I'm going to play this video now, guys. Trigger warning. Massive trigger warning.
Who is American born and raised, that found herself in the United Kingdom and was part of the Karbala kingdom and was made the second wife to the king. Upon arrival, she was welcomed by the queen herself, Queen Mary Tama, who is the first wife to Kofi Ofe. This young lady, who was about 20 years old at that time, arrived in the United Kingdom and was part of anything that they were doing in the Karbala kingdom. The naive young lady was used and was even made to have a relationship with this Ghanaian man that calls himself the king and made her believe she was a queen of some sort.
Today, these comedians are competing to see who can write the most hardcore
So it's just hate adverts, guys.
Comics aren't delivering the gags themselves.
That calls himself the king and made her believe she was a queen of some sort. Her name was Aliyah Johnson, who came from the United States and joined this kingdom and was made to do all sorts of rituals that I will show you in this video in the name of serving their king or prophet or messiah, King Ofe from Ghana. But all I see is a group of people that were using this young lady to do the unthinkable, and her family is not happy about what happened to Lady Safi. Aliyah Johnson was a young teenager living her life in America, and she didn't think that one day she would find herself in the United Kingdom. But then she found herself in the UK and later on decided to leave, and that's where her ending started. It is believed that Lady Safi was pregnant for the king of the Karbala kingdom, but that pregnancy was concealed. And again, people are saying that the baby might have been among the children which social services took, and that must have also affected Aliyah Johnson in going back to the US, because she was thinking about the child that she had lost to social services. Again, her family has denied that there was never a child, but there's a video where Queen Mary makes her confess that she's never been pregnant. Why is the video being released now? Is Mary Tama trying to hide something? Jean Gasho is her original name. Is she trying to hide something? Listen to this snippet.
She said, what is that begging? Begging I didn't get down on my knees to say my Lord. Please give me.
She had that all convinced that she was pregnant. When even the king told me that she is going to do this, she's going to play the pregnancy card.
Was Jean Gasho becoming jealous that Aliyah Johnson was in love with her husband? Was she trying to make the man turn against this young lady they called Lady Safi? Well, a lot of things were happening in that house, and I believe a lot of information has been concealed from the public. If not for social services taking the children away, we wouldn't have even known about this family. It's good that the government has taken control of all this craziness that is going on in their lives. But the sad part is how Aliyah Johnson ended up losing her life. Let's listen to a snippet of how she was hypnotized to believe in this, their kingdom. Listen to this.
Because this is an honor to even be a part or even see and witness what's happening in history.
Yes. This is historical, and like what you say, this is history in the making. And our names right now are being written down. And this kingdom, the blueprint of who we are, is being written down. And even when we talk about, before when we were live, I was seeing some comments saying, how can the king have all these beautiful women? What have you got to say about that? They say we are too beautiful for the king. But he is the king.
Well, I would say the king is mighty handsome, and this is his birthright.
And he's the most gorgeous, isn't it? He's melanin and everything. Oh gosh, I think okay, I think we have to stop gushing over our Lord's husband and just say Kubala, Kubala. Kubala, Kubala. Fiona.
He's here.
Lady Safi was made to do this ritual of washing the feet of Kofi. Lady Safi is then told to explain what she was doing, and her explanation is that she needs to anoint the feet of the king, and that is why he's placing his feet in the bowl of water where she's pouring that anointing oil. Lady Safi's uncle expressed that they don't know how she joined this account, and till date the uncle has been mourning the loss of the niece Aliyah, who was so young, and he shares memories of this young lady that lost her way.
So if you want to make a remote income from home, and you're a beginner, meaning right now you have a 9 to 5,
lost her way.
So Lady Safi, can you explain to the people who are watching all over the world what this is, what you're doing?
So, right now I am just anointing the king's feet. First, I begin by washing his feet. And right here, this is the time to be delicate with that. Go slow, because this here is an anointing. And this just came to spirit today to just anoint his feet on our Sabbath day, which is very powerful to the God of Israel. So, I am Lady Safi of the Northern Kingdom. Today I come before you, and I want to thank you for all the prayers for the King and the Queen. Happy Sabbath to you all, and to the free worships especially. I just want to make sure that you keep them in your prayers for their journey home and all things good. Kubala, Kubala, Ili's way.
The way Lady Safi looked away, it looked like somebody told her what to say. Lady Safi eventually decided to leave this kingdom, and she traveled back to the United States. And when she got to the United States, something happened. According to Jean Gasho, she expresses all the time that the reason why Lady Safi is no more is because she never listened to their so-called king, and he gave her a curse. So this young lady traveled back to the US, and she was having troubles with, deliverance and trying to remove herself and detaching herself from this so-called kingdom, Karbala kingdom. However, they didn't know how to support her properly. In America, they looked at it as it was mental health instead of spiritual. So she's even reported in the news of what happened to her. Because this group is quite big, they have some links outside of the United Kingdom. According to her uncle, who has expressed this on social media, on TikTok, the uncle has shared that it seems like there are some people who are chasing after Lady Safi. And in running away from these people, she ended up running into a car and a bus. And both the bus and the car had an impact on Lady Safi, and that's how she lost her life.
Thank you, Jackal. New tonight, a family speaking out after their loved one, Aaliyah Johnson, was hit and killed by a vehicle in an embarked bus last week. Fox 25's Katie Rada spoke with her brother and sister. Katie, what they have to say?
Well, Adam, Aaliyah Johnson was only 20 years old and tragically lost her life last week. Her family members say her death could have been prevented if mental health care was more accessible in Oklahoma.
Oh, she was beautiful, man. Her laugh was crazy. It was contagious. She was very funny. She loved people.
Aaliyah Johnson's siblings describing their sister, who was tragically taken too soon. On January 3rd, Johnson was hit by a car and then an embarked bus when she was crossing the street on Northeast 23rd. Officials say she was pronounced dead on the scene.
The news was devastating.
Loved ones say Aaliyah struggled with mental health issues and was battling them the day the accident happened.
My sister did suffer from some mental health issues. Stuff that we, as a family, was trying to understand and deal with.
Those close with Aaliyah say her fate could have been different if she would have been able to get the help she needed last week.
We were aware that there were calls, the police were aware, or the authorities were aware. From my understanding, when we made contact, it was they had gotten multiple calls in regards to our sister. And yet, they said she didn't meet the criteria.
Her family now working to bring awareness to mental health accessibility and its importance.
Again, it was devastating, and we just really want to get her story out, just spreading the light on just getting people being able to get help when needed.
Aaliyah's family has set up a GoFundMe page to help pay for her burial and service. If you'd like to donate, we have a link to it on our website, okcfox.com. Reporting live in studio, Katie Rada, Fox 25 News.
It is believed that Lady Safi was about 18 to 19 years old when she joined the family. The questions I would ask is, who funded her flight? Why didn't her family stop her? Why are they crying now to the media? It's sad. I believe Jean Gasho and the husband funded this. And the UK authorities must take action against them. Because ideally, they were grooming this young lady.
So why do I start things and never finish them? It's all due to something called law of sustainment. In psychology,
so why do I start things and never finish them?
It's all due to.
So guys, this here, now I want to show you this. This is the new girl. This is the second wife to take over Aaliyah Johnson's place now in the Kingdom Karbala. Missing Texas mum found living in a Scottish tribe. So I'm going to read out some comments. In fact, before I read out the comments, I'm going to show you her body language and what's what. So here's a friend first of all.
School Clara, bro. So all the jokes and all the hee hee ha ha, oh, this woman's playing Wakanda Forever in the woods, I don't find none of that shit fucking funny. Cults are real. And it really hurts me and pains me to see this on the internet. Like, this is somebody that we went to school with. Like, Who the fuck are these people? Who is this Ghanaian man and this Zimbabwean woman? Like, who are y'all? Y'all are double her age. Y'all really could be her daddy for real and her mama. And y'all are literally using her to produce children and making her think that she's inferior to herself? Like, I'm so fucking baffled. It's not even funny. It's really not funny. I don't find none of this shit hilarious at all. It's actually fucking scary. And I hope her parents are getting in contact with the U.S. Embassy in Edinburgh, Scotland, because she needs to be home. There's no reason for her to be playing Handmaid's Tale over in Scotland. And I literally just made a fucking video about this, bro. Like, what the fuck? This shit is actually scary, bro. It's scary. And I hope Kara gets home because, damn, like, bitch, we grew up with you. What the fuck are you doing in Scotland? And I honestly feel like, based off of the clip that I already seen of her talking, she's saying that she's an adult and bro, that's a sign of Stockholm Syndrome, where you start identifying with your captors. Like, hello? Can we wake the fuck up and go get her?
So then I'm going to show you the body language
Went to school with her,
of
bro.
Cora. When somebody asks her a question, I want you to take a good look. And here's Cora, by the way, with a mum. That's a newspaper article there. So how do you go from that on the right to now that on the left? It doesn't add up to me.
Like, apparently, like, you left America, now you're in Scotland, and now you're like, I don't know what to call it, like, a tribe, like, what's going on? Like, I'm confused. And then I'm seeing in the comments that you have children. Like, I don't know. Like, do you have children or do you not have children? Yeah, someone said it's a cult, but I don't know. I'm not here to, like, to shame because I don't know what's going on. That's why I'm asking you because clearly you're the one running it or in it. I don't know.
Well, first I'll just say you found the account, so you can do your own research, do your homework, and you could come to your own conclusion like everybody else. It seems like you know quite a bit. You know more than you know that you know. But I have children or I will have children. That's not something that I have or I ever will explain to anybody. As I said before, I'm an adult. I don't have also to you or my faith or my beliefs. But again, in regards to those things, everything that you want to know, that you need to know as far as where this is and what it means and how to do is there.
So you can clearly see in her eyes, she's not comfortable. People are asking her about a child. They've even asked her about her friends that are reaching out to her online. And when she's replying, she looks very lost, very sad. Just going to show you this
But
clip.
people are worried about you, though. They're thinking the king might start, they're suspecting that the king is going to do something to you. People are more worried about you more than anything else.
That's interesting, Pamela. That's all I can say. Are you worried about me?
Yeah, I am because, it's just the three of you and maybe the king will be bored and, then he might start liking you and that kind of a thing.
Anyway, where are you, Pamela? Are you in the UK?
Yeah, I'm in the UK.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll see you soon. So write to us and we'll keep in touch.
Okay, that's all right.
I feel like you know that I don't want to be here, but okay, we'll keep in touch.
No, I want to come for you. I just want to come for 2 weeks and try.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll pray about it, speak to Yahweh.
Okay, I'll inbox you just now.
Okay.
Okay.
She looks like she wants to cry. And the worst thing is she's not even looking at what people are saying in the comments because someone is actually controlling the phone and filming her. So once again, she's literally being controlled in that video. I'm going to show you this. So that's a post that was made on Facebook for her. Missing person, please everyone share and help this girl and her baby be returned home safe. The girl in the picture is called Cora Taylor, but Jean and her husband are calling her Asna, and the baby name is Adina Simpson. They are calling her Chaka or Shaka. Yeah, I'm not even going to pronounce that. They are missing from Texas. Cora's family have reached out to me for help to locate her and the baby to have them return home to Texas safe from harm's way. Cora has been groomed online and brought over to the UK by the one and only Jean Gasho. So she was brought over by Jean Gasho. Well, why am I literally going a little bit deep into this shit now? Jean Gasho. Who is she? Well, we've seen she's had a breakdown. We've seen she's quite famous in Africa, especially for lying as well, hitting the headlines. However, when she had a breakdown, she lost the children. And the reason why she lost the children was because of child neglect and the rituals she was doing. And since this Jean, let me just show you the criminals in question right now, them two. So there's King, there's Queen. And look, he wants to feel like he's powerful with two wives. But these second and third wives, and I believe now they're looking for the third wife, they're all young girls that are turning up from America. Different parts of America. I'm going to show you a video. I did play this last night, but for anyone who's wondering where the hell Rangi is tonight, is it because now I'm actually bringing something to light? Because I'm going to show you now what Rangi did for this family. Why is he protecting this family so much, I wonder? I mean, you do ask yourself, don't you? Well, I'll get into that afterwards. I'm not going to play all of this video because it's too long, but I'm going to give you a snippet of what Rangi tried to stop and what he defends, and also just how he shipped this tribe to Scotland.
Right. For those tuning in, I'm just going live, just so you can see what's going on. So we have an issue, a situation where it seems like a couple of social workers, a couple of other people. Right, so that's the premises there, that's social workers there, okay, that tried to come here earlier on to try to take obviously a woman that's pregnant, okay. And there's the police all hiding around the corner. So I'm going to stay here because I do know they have issues here, and they're trying to get into this house, try to obviously go for the child. So I want to make sure that everybody gets to see this live. Shameful thing is the woman's pregnant, coming to the end of term, and apparently they want her in hospital just so they can take the baby off her. Well, she's not due yet. They need to be careful. This is the rights of a woman today. So I'm going to keep the camera towards them. I'm going to keep the camera on there just so everybody can see. So that's 4 people there. You've got 2 social workers and 2 of God knows what else. And then you got the police here as well. And this is for a pregnant woman. Can you believe it?
It's house of fire. I don't see no blazes.
I ain't going to be walking away from here, by the way, until they're gone. I came earlier on, and just as I was leaving, a team of police officers turned up and a nurse, and I had to stay. And while I was staying, they seen those other people looking, and they ended up walking away. But this is social services at its best. Talk about child trafficking, eh?
Yep, Joe, but you did smirk as he said that, babe.
Okay, seems like they're walking away, but... Excuse me, officer, just a quick question. Can I ask you, why are you supporting the social services?
I'm not going to answer that, so you've got no involvement in the incident, therefore I'm not going to tell you.
Well, I've got a lot of involvement because I'm exposing everybody at the moment. And what I want to bring to your attention right now, the social services have been covering up victims of child sexual abuse right here.
Right.
And you should have been protecting them, but instead, it's not you directly.
All right, well, I'm
this is
aware
why,
of that.
absolutely. So it's my job to make you aware.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah.
Everybody's held accountable for. We've also got evidence where you've been taking children, handing it to social services, and they've been abusing our children.
Well,
okay, see, and my job is to make you aware.
Thank you very
much. Nobody's going to hold back, and this is why I was concerned about this. Earlier on, I turned up, and there was a half a dozen of the police here. I can't understand. Yet I spoke to the gentleman.
Right.
More than amicable, more than reasonable, more than happy to speak to people.
Yeah.
But if you turn up in a gang, what's going to happen? People are not going to be intimidated. That's why he was worried before.
Absolutely.
So
Night,
if
Mickey.
people
Night, Lily, darling.
try to behave sensibly, we know social services don't behave sensibly because they're the part of the...
If you notice, we obviously...
No. I actually, for the first time, both of you, when I came through there, I accept what you did, and I'm happy with it. I'm grateful for that.
Well, we try to do our best for everyone.
No, 100%. But I need you to understand. You need to tell your chain of command all the way to the top that this is what you are allowing. Only because you are controlled by the social services who are liars, criminals, and storytellers. You can't commit perjury. You can't manufacture documents. You can't manufacture crimes on members of the public to steal their children. The game is up. The whole nation is waking up right now. But the worst thing about it, when they've been caught, they've now blamed you, the social workers, are the ones to blame. So am I now supposed to say that you are all child traffickers or child abusers? You see, it's a game that they play.
Right.
But my job is to tell you. If you want my details, there's my details.
Much appreciated.
Okay.
That's fine. My name's PC Guy.
Yeah.
You have all my...
No, that's fine, but...
Obviously, I'm not aware of any of this. My job's come to support my colleagues, all right? That's all I'm here for.
No, I appreciate that. I'm going to take my hats off to you and the gentleman there because you weren't stood there out the way you were.
Keep the peace up. For everyone's benefit and yours as well.
100%. Right. And this is very concerning with them lot, social services.
Right.
We have the evidence of what they've been doing. And you slowly need to start pulling back, otherwise you're going to be held accountable for the child trafficking and the abuse that's taking place in the village.
We do. Right.
Okay, before you go, nice job, boss, guys. What's your badge number? 2831. 2831. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate that. Yeah, so this is what's just happened. Hopefully people are staying up with this, and at least now they're all gone away, because you see over there next to the vans, that's where the social workers are. They don't want a real fight. All they want to do is come down on their own to try to sneak in to take any child they want. You know what I mean? This is how ridiculous they are. Brothers, everybody needs to wake up. Social services are manufacturing crimes and stealing our children. If you want evidence of this, I'll give you evidence of this. There's some public media now. Everybody knows about it. We need to expose every one of them. All our children are important. And this is regardless of color, creed, or religion. These are our children, and they seem to think that they own our children. They don't own our children. And then behind closed doors, they're abusing our children. Okay? So everybody needs to be aware of that. And as you can see, social services cracked up all the way down over there. You see, they don't want to really speak. They don't want a real fight. They just want to keep coming back. This is the second time they've come here today. And I've turned up second time, and I'm grateful for one of those. Thank you very much for calling me. Anytime this happens, you call me. And then, and on top of that, I'll make you a journalist from LCS News. You do it. Brilliant. So this is LCS News Breaking Silence, and we're going to continue. And we're looking for more and more people up and down the country. It doesn't matter which town and city you are. All you need is a little badge like that. Okay? Gives you the license to stand up in front of everybody, keep a little bit of a distance, and record everything. Because it's so shameful what they've been doing to this African family. It's absolutely diabolical. Stealing children, they're going back to the pregnant, that she's pregnant, we need to take the last one. It's not going to happen. Now you see.
Now, he's defending this couple. Are you ready? Truth about Queen, who lives in Scottish Woods with her husband and his handmaiden after she advertised for a second wife who would pay to marry the king and submit to virginity testing. That's the people who he was just defending in that video then, right? So now you're starting to see this is like a massive, it's a jigsaw, isn't it? It's being put together. Everything's now coming together. It's funny how he's not on live tonight. Isn't it mad how he's actually not on live tonight? How fucking weird is that? So he's defending now that couple. Let me just read that. There we go, look. Keep your children safe. The self-proclaimed king and queen of Karbala have a criminal history of child neglectation across the border in Newcastle. In Newcastle. Has anyone got something to say? Who's just unmuted a minute ago?
I was just gonna say, that, about Durham, did, you know, like, being that way on.
On what?
You know, when you were saying about, like, the area.
Yeah.
Job. Yeah, well, ain't that where, like, Durham's way on?
Yes. And yeah, guys, just to show you, that was the flat, as you've all just seen. That's what Rangi was stood outside. Man and woman in court charged with child cruelty after police presence in Yam Lane in Stockton. So that's who Rangi was defending. These people, criminals.
It's a shame for them girls. And I know, like, they ain't done right, but now they ain't thinking, but, you know, like, they've been victims as well. And I know they've done wrong, but, you know, sometimes the mental health thing, it plays a massive thing in what you do and who you are at some points in your life, and, you know, it's terrible, ain't it?
Yeah, it is, babe. It is. I'm just getting this article up here just to show people. There we go. Can you all read that? Hi, Andy, darling. So that's just a little snippet of the article. Read that. Thank you, Maria. So he was brought up in Stockton and he's involved in working in business sector. He was self-employed, travel firm. Oops. Now, let me just take you back, right? Aurangzeb Latif has won a community award by this community centre in Newcastle that is run by the African community. What does that say? Aurangzeb Latif was born and brought up in Stockton. He has been involved in working in the business sector, in retail, and he owns self-employed travel firm. The passions in his life have been his family and culture and the community. Has it fuck? Latif has been involved in various charity events and organisations up and down the country, most notably attending in the person with a team of doctors for emergency natural disaster response. Have we ever seen Rangi with doctors? My ass. More like the doctors that have been, fucking found guilty and sacked. So, Latif has passionately continued to help families with devastation. Now, where does it say social services that he's helped people? It says he's had issues with social services, but not that he's helped individuals. It's all relating to the disasters, yeah? So, read that. Travel firm. Now, I don't know how many times I have actually said this over and over and over again, right? He owns a travel firm still to this day. These parents are wanting to know how their daughters have got over here to the UK. Yet he's outside Jean Gashow's apartment defending her, sticking up for her, making sure the local authorities don't get their hands on her children. Yet they had every right to get their hands on her children. Every right. Because look what you've just seen, what she's capable of tonight. And everyone's been saying to me for a while, how do you know Rangi's connected with these individuals? Well, I tell you what, I've been watching him for 19 months. For a while, how do you know Rangi's connected? Sorry, guys. I've been watching him for 19 months, and I can tell you now, I've watched many people come and go, and I'm talking people from Australia, people from New Zealand, people from Canada. I've seen it all. You have no idea. And some of these individuals have all got serious criminal backgrounds. And I'm talking for like firearms, what was the other one? There's firearms, kidnap, rape, human trafficking, child trafficking. It's really bad. And every time I've called Rangi out about this and I've said, well, how have you actually got access to all these people across the world? Do you know what he says to me? Go away, got no time for your nonsense, you dog. Sorry, guys. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
My internet's just gone a little bit funny. Give it a minute.
How's he calling you a dog with the start of him? Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is what I'm saying. No, this is like... 1 minute.